we are both film lovers and we like the same sort of things. Maybe not the football teams though, since he supports Tottenham Hotspurs, but that's the only thing.
The cast of Belfast can't stop gushing about newcomer Jude Hill. The 11-year-old has been wowing critics and audiences in his acting debut, a starring turn in Kenneth Branagh's Belfast. The film, written and directed by Branagh, follows Buddy, a young boy growing up amid the social and political unrest in Northern Ireland in the 1960s.
Jude, I have to say, first of all, congratulations to you. You were excellent in this, your first acting role in a film ever.
To have Belfast as my film debut is just mind-blowing, and to have this amazing cast as well, and for it to be directed and written by Sir Kenneth Branagh himself, I'm so grateful, and I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for him.
Branagh and the film's cast, including Jamie Dornan, Caitríona Balfe, and Ciarán Hinds, also shared their praise for the young star with The Hollywood Reporter, with Branagh noting that casting the newcomer was surprisingly an easy choice.
Life is perhaps going to be about dealing to some extent with loss of identity, loss of family, loss of your street, sometimes loss of human beings. And so he was able to somehow be in those moments and allow us to read that sort of heartbreaking and heartwarming development at one and the same time.
I think he's the kind of kid, like every day he brought such a positive energy, and there was never once where he was complaining or tired, and he was only 10, and the whole film kind of rested on his shoulders.
Hill's casting was pivotal for the filmmaker, as the movie is loosely based on his own childhood, a story he had long wanted to share.
It threw me right back into the sounds of that time in Belfast, where the ground from beneath our feet was lifted, those paving stones found their way into a barricade at the top of the street, and we were literally walking on sand. And it felt a bit at the beginning of this lockdown that that's where we all were. We were utterly thrown by how our lives were now going to develop. And out of that just came the call back to this haunting moment in my early life.
The film also struck a chord with Dornan and Hinds, who both call Belfast home.
It's mega, it was like a bit of a dream scenario, having someone as esteemed and distinguished and brilliant as Kenneth Branagh telling a story of his own childhood set in my hometown of my childhood. Packages don't come along like that very often, ever, really.
I was born in the 1950s in Belfast, so when Ken set the film in 1969, I would have been 16. But the whole design, the whole concept, the rhythm of the language, the characters that he had painted in his scenario, his script, it just almost brought me back within a couple of pages of reading it to generations before me of my own family. And that's what makes a big emotional connection.
Although a politically heavy point in history, the film, shown through the eyes of a child, also called for lighter moments, with nods to Branagh's own artistic influences growing up, such as Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and Thor, a sneaky reference to his future directorial effort in the MCU. Another notable moment in the film, a performance of everlasting love from Jamie Dornan.
Jamie, lucky for us, you get to show off your vocals again in this film.
Yep. Definitely. It's been happening a lot recently for whatever reason. In the last couple of years, I've sang quite a lot. I've danced a bit and stuff.
Because they know you can do it.
I'm not sure I can. It's like they keep testing me to try to prove I can do it, and I keep sort of failing at the first hurdle.
Belfast has already been seen as an early award season contender, with Oscar buzz for Branagh and the cast. But for Hill, all the newfound attention doesn't change a thing.
How has your family and friends reacted to all of this amazing praise that's been coming your way?
They knew that I went away for a summer to film a film, and they were quite surprised about it, and they were really happy. And when the trailer came out, they realized how big it is and how important it is. And yeah, nothing's really changed with my personal life, and my mum and dad are really, really supportive of me.
And as for his plans in Hollywood next,
I'd just love to play someone from the Avengers, because that's sort of down at the top at the top of my bucket list, but I think I'd have to wait until I'm a bit older for that.
Not at all. I'm sure they've got some marvelous magical person who's about that size in the storyline. And they're bound to have. And you're the right man for it.
We saw you flipping through the pages of Thor in the movie, so maybe a Thor reboot.
Be like a Thorette. You know, like a little Thor.
Little Thor. Exactly.
Belfast opens in theaters November 12th. For more on this story, head to THR.com. For the Hollywood Reporter News, I'm Neha Joy.